Hello everyone from Panama City. Today we'll be discussing the real estate market in Panama City, which is turning around. I mean, it went through, 15 years of just being terrible.
Stagnation. It wasn't moving at all. And then over the last 18 months or so, we're starting to see a change in the market.
So we'll discuss this in detail, and then we'll have a look at this apartment and do all of the numbers, all the ROI numbers, because you can actually see that we can now get net rental yields that are much higher than last year because there's just so much more rental demand. But first, I think let's contextualize. Panama, for many years, was known as a place where real estate was expensive and where there was a bubble. And effectively, for 15 years, prices did not budge whatsoever. So actually now, when you look at Panama City, especially secondary market real estate, it's actually very cheap by global standards for a tax haven. Typically in the industry, internationally, we like to say that real estate cycles are about 7 years. Panama had such a bust that it needed, 2 cycles to go through the inventory. And this process is still kind of ongoing. What have you seen exactly, Matt? What are the first kind of burgeoning points coming out?
We're seeing a lot of movement on the pre-construction factor. The developers are producing properties where 2 years ago they were selling at $3,000 a meter on average. Now they're up to $3,500, $4,000, even the luxury market reaching $5,000 a meter. It's a jump that we haven't seen in years. And going back to your earlier point, developers in the early 2000s just were building out the entire city. So there was too much inventory, there's too much supply, not enough demand. And now after 15 years, it's catching up.
Tell us about the secondary market, because this is a secondary market apartment.
Sure. The secondary market, again, is catching up. A lot of that has to do with the rental demand. Inventory is very low on rental right now. So we're seeing about a 20 to 25% increase in prices in the last 12 months.
That's insane.
Yeah, it's a huge markup because there's just not enough inventory. So it's driving up rental prices for all of the expats that are moving to Panama. And now as that's rising, we're seeing the secondary market, their prices going up as well. I've seen those prices rise in the last year, let's call it about 10%.
So rents on the secondary market have gone up about 25% and real estate prices about 10%.
On average, I'm seeing about 10% across the market.
Okay. You can see as a real estate investor, when you hear numbers like this, you can see why this is interesting, especially when you ask yourself why, right? The why of the real estate market in Panama doing better is important. In the past, historically, 15 years ago, it was a lot of speculation, money laundering, et cetera, et cetera. Now it's actually people that are moving here because there aren't that many other alternatives in the world. We see the situation in Europe, which keeps getting worse and worse from a taxation point of view, from a safety point of view. We see the situation in the Gulf. I mean, for many people, Dubai is just not an option anymore.
That's right. We're seeing a lot of folks that were on the fence deciding between Dubai and Panama. Since the start of the war, they've been pushed over towards Panama, and we're seeing a lot more demand from those investors who are deciding where they wanted to put their money.
And people moving from the UAE as well. Are you starting to see this as well?
We are seeing that as well. Recently had a couple of high wealth clients that moved from Dubai over to Panama because of concerns about the current global climate.
Dubai was always pitched as a safe haven. I never pitched Dubai as a safe haven, by the way. It's hard to be a safe haven when you're a small country with an extremely aggressive foreign policy right across from Iran. So, things just kind of worked out a certain way. But effectively, a lot of these people need to go somewhere. Where are they going to go? Are they going to go to Europe? Probably not, at least not the ones with money. Are they going to go to Thailand? Yeah, a lot of them are, but they'll figure out that there are quite a few tax issues that come with Thailand, especially in the long run. Are they going to go to Malaysia? Sure, Malaysia is a great option. Affordable, easy to get residency, no taxes on worldwide income, perfectly fine. People who lived in Dubai, they're used to the Muslim aspect, fine. Singapore, Hong Kong, hard to get into, increasingly hard to get into. So this removes most of the market. And then you look at the rest of the world and you're left with not that many options objectively. Paraguay, sure, but I mean, you're moving from Dubai to Paraguay is a bit of a mindset shift. Costa Rica, places like that with territorial taxation. Also it's not a big city vibe. So you're left with Panama. And I'm certainly not sitting here saying that, Panama's the new Dubai. Let's just be very honest. I mean, we just need to look at the view here. It is not as pretty as Dubai, let's face it. But it's functional. it works. If you want to come here and massively reduce your taxation, not pay any taxes, and you structure things well, you can effectively end up paying 0% taxes in a very safe environment with decent infrastructure, decent schools, good airline, blah, 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 blah. So people are coming here.
People are coming here, and property taxes are low. Also, because of Copa Airlines being able to fly direct to just about anywhere in the Americas is very attractive for people that want to travel or want to even go back to the States to visit family. It's very easy connectivity to get in and out of Panama.
And you still have the usual flock of Canadians coming down here and Americans for their own political reasons.
Flock is a great term because a lot of them are snowbirds. They're flying down just for the winter. A lot of the properties we sell, people are only using for 3 or 4 months out of the year, and then they fly back. A lot of Canadians, a lot of Americans coming down because of either taxation or just the political climate in general.
Yeah, so that's ongoing, and that's always been like that. Europe is just getting worse and worse. Dubai is decreasingly an option. I saw today, I was at the mall, and I mean, Panama has a very large Jewish population. Those Jews were not speaking Spanish. They're speaking Hebrew, they're speaking German, French, American.
It's an Israeli hub. There are certain pockets in Panama City, Paitilla, Punta Pacifica come to mind, that you have large Jewish communities. But even outside of the city, there's places like Pedassi and Vanau where it's large Israeli communities, specifically Israeli. But we're also seeing a lot of American Jews moving down to Panama as well because it is, it's a very strong Jewish culture locally.
So a lot of Israelis are moving here.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I was I was getting a new SIM card at the shop right before we met, and I was speaking to a Swiss Jew, and he was moving here because he didn't feel safe in Switzerland anymore. I mean, I don't know what to think about that. Like, Switzerland's pretty safe, but he didn't feel safe in Switzerland anymore, and he, is explicitly as a Jew, and he was moving here to Panama, and I think that's also a big market.
Absolutely, huge market for us right now.
What percentage of your clients for investment are Jewish now versus, let's say, 5 years ago?
It's tough to track a number like that, but I would say we've seen a sharp increase. Probably, I'm probably seeing 50% more Jews coming in, mostly from the U.S. The Israelis tend to stick with more of the Israeli or the stronger Jewish community. But as far as the American Jews go, we have seen a large increase from the Northeast and from South Florida.
Cool. So look, as a real estate investor, I like all of these signs. There are people with money come from all over the world that are coming here, each for their own specific reasons, and who feel very strongly about their motivations for moving to Panama. I like the fact that it's not just Panama that's attracting people. It's also people just don't really have that many alternatives. You've seen the more prime properties go up in price more.
I have. Yeah, last year in Costa del Este, they were typically trading around 2,000 to 2,100 per square meter. And now I've seen that go up to 2,200, 23, some buildings even 2,400. They're larger units, they're 3 and 4 bedrooms, they're about 350 to 400 square meters. But to see a price increase like that over 12 months in Panama is just unheard of.
So I think the whole market is going to catch up effectively. Capital is struggling to find places to go to these days, especially in real estate. That safe haven market destruction in the Middle East is huge. It'll take a while to recover because they will now go through their own big crisis. Dubai, even if the war were to stop tomorrow, they have massive supply coming. They're going to go through their own at least 7-year cycle. Now's the time, I think, for Panama to shine. So as much as the past years when I'd come here with you, Matt, and I'd say, well, you come here to Panama, it's a plan B, you get your residency and you have this real estate, it's not too expensive, don't expect too much, you'll make 3% net yields and, your money's here. Now I'm actually like, well, actually, I think you can actually probably make good investments here and get the residency visa out of it. By the way, we can help with all the residency visas. $200,000 investment in real estate gets you residency here if you're from typically a developed country, and $300,000 immediate permanent residency if you're from anywhere in the world. Link below. Let's look at the specific apartment. I like it a lot. The numbers are quite interesting. So tell us, Matt, a bit about where we are, the age of the building, all that. Just give us the metrics.
Sure. So the building was constructed in 2009. This particular unit is a high floor, 26 floor, 112 square meters. It's a 1-bedroom loft. It would rent quickly for about $1,600 a month, fully furnished as you see it now. If you were to list it on a Monday, it would be rented by Friday.
So like that. Okay. $205,000. We had a bit of closing costs. We had the legal costs, a little bit of, renovations, like this horrible mirror behind, removing that, the fridge, but the rest is pretty fine.
Yeah.
Occupancy rate, we put 92%, but you think it would be higher?
I think it would be higher. If you really wanted to stretch it and try to get an extra $100 to $200 a month, then it's going to take me 3 weeks to rent it out. Considering if you could rent it within a week, I think, 92% is really conservative.
So then we take your property management at 10%, your fees for finding tenants, which is 1 month, but on average people stay about 18 months. What's the property tax?
Property tax is a little over $1,000. It's $1,020 per year. It's a higher tax bracket because it's an investment property.
But still, it's still pretty cheap. And there are half decent amenities. There's a half decent pool. There's a half decent gym, parking, all of that. HOA is cheap.
Yeah, HOA is $179 a month. So carrying costs for a property like this are quite low when you compare it to the rest of the market, specifically Panama in general. The appeal for this property, more than an investment, but the people that are going to want to live here are going to be either a young couple or a single person that wants the walkability of the neighborhood and just a great view.
Tell us about the neighborhood here and help me understand, why would I go for how old is this building again?
So the building was constructed in 2009.
Almost 20-year-old building. The building is not pretty from the outside. Let's be honest here. They are building new buildings around here that are visually pretty. Can you give us the kind of the rough numbers, price per square meter? Because here we're at less than $2,000 a square meter.
Yeah.
We're roughly $1,800 a square meter. We end up with a net yield of pre-tax of 5%, which for safe haven real estate that is probably going to go up in value and gets you a visa, I think is a really good deal. Give us a comparison with new construction here, which is typically what realtors would be pitching.
Yeah, new construction is, just around the corner from this building. There's a property that's between $3,500 and $4,000 a square meter that's currently under construction.
So twice the price.
Twice the price.
Okay. And in terms of rental, will it be twice the price in terms of rental?
I don't believe you would get nearly twice the price. This one we're getting $1,600. I think over there, $2,200 to $2,500.
And the HOA will probably be higher.
It would be much higher. So HOA on average in these new buildings is about $3.50 per square meter. Apples to apples, let's just say it's 100 square meters, you're going to be paid $350 per month, almost twice the price.
Twice the price. Not making that much more rental income, but probably easier to find tenants. Though there's so much demand that you're going to find tenants anyways.
That's right. You're going to find tenants either way. I would say someone that's going to come into this building, they might be looking to stretch their dollar a little bit more. That's why they see the value in a $1,600 a month rental. Same neighborhood, just slightly less on the amenities.
Any risk of special assessments in a building like this?
You always run that risk, but this building specifically, they recently repainted, so they've got another about 4 years of shelf life before they need to repaint the exterior.
Okay, so I think the main message here is there's a turnaround in the market in Panama based on multiple fundamentals. It's not just, I don't think it's just a fluke. If you're looking to get a Plan B residency, if you're looking to, get that residency permit here in Panama, you can always do the term deposit. You can do you can also create a company, hire yourself. But if you're looking at the real estate option, now is probably the right time to get it. I think Panama is now officially is entering, unless, there's a massive global liquidity crisis and everything crashes and this and that. But, this aside, this would just impact everything. The market is really has just started to turn into the right direction. And if you look around, you can find some very decent deals. The supply of safe haven / tax haven real estate in nice walkable neighborhoods in the world is limited. I wrote a whole article on the real estate market in Panama City, the neighborhoods that are interesting, the neighborhoods that are less interesting. There's a link below. And if you want to get in touch with Matt, you've been a realtor here for how many years?
I've been in real estate here for going on 8 years now.
He's going to help you lock in the right investment properties. And then his company, you guys manage how many properties now?
Right now, we're right around 100 properties across the city.
So you can essentially find the property, do the numbers, and then hopefully deliver the numbers.
That's the hard part.
All right, Matt, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Join us at the Wandering Investor Live Panama City in Panama in September. 4 days of digging into Panama as a jurisdiction, as well as the local real estate market, which is now turning around after 15 years of stagnation. With everything that's happening in the world, especially with what happened in the Gulf, there are now more limited options in terms of Plan B residencies that are attractive from a tax and physical presence point of view. So immigration to Panama is booming, as well as capital flows. But this event will not just be about Panama. We'll also have a workshop on global Plan B strategy and everyday delicious lunches, happy hours, delicious dinners, and people from all over the world that are interested in these very topics. More information on the event or request your invitation in the link below. See you in September.